You're 4 minutes old, you've been alive for less time than it takes to boil an egg, and your own father has just decided to seal a mountain-sized demon fox inside your body. This one decision will kill both your parents, turn an entire village against you, and quietly ruin the next 16 years of your life. You haven't even cried properly yet. Happy birthday, kid. Let's back up and watch how this happens. You open your eyes for the very first time and congratulations, you've just been born in the Hidden Leaf Village, Konoha, a place of ninja jutsu and apparently very poor decisions by the people in charge. The doctors rush around the room, and there's your mother, Kushina, and your father, the fourth Hokage, the most powerful man in the entire village, and for about 4 minutes everything is perfect. Then a giant 9-tailed fox demon attacks the village, not a metaphor, an actual massive 9-tailed fox. And your father, in his infinite wisdom, decides that the best solution to this problem is to seal the entire demon inside you. His newborn son, who is 4 minutes old. Both of your parents pour everything they have into the sealing jutsu and die doing it, leaving you alive, powerful beyond imagination, and completely alone before you've even had a chance to cry properly. Welcome to the world, kid. By the time you're old enough to understand anything, you already know something is wrong. The villagers look at you differently, not with pity, with something colder. You're too young to know the word for it, but you'll learn it eventually. The word is hatred. The third Hokage has issued a decree forbidding anyone from telling you what lives inside you, which means nobody explains anything. They just stare and whisper and cross the street when they see you coming. Sit with that for a second. You are a child who is despised for something you don't even know you're carrying. Nobody hates you for what you did. They hate you for what was done to you. You grow up in an apartment alone. No parents, no relatives, no one who tucks you in or makes you breakfast. The village provides you just enough to survive and makes it very clear that surviving is the ceiling of what they expect from you. You draw on the walls because there's no one to tell you not to. And honestly, there's no one to talk to anyway. At age 5, you try to make a friend and they go home and tell their parents, and the next day at the park, that kid isn't there anymore. You don't fully understand why yet. You will. At 6, you start at the academy, which should be the beginning of something. And in a way it is. So it's the beginning of years of sitting in a classroom where the teacher doesn't call on you, where the other kids have already been told to keep their distance, where even the instructors look at you like you're a problem they've been assigned, rather than a student they're meant to teach. You act out, you pull pranks, you paint the Hokage monument in broad daylight because at least when you're in trouble, someone is looking at you. Negative attention is still attention. You figure this out earlier than most kids should have to. You fail a lot. Not because you're not trying, you're trying harder than anyone in that building, but because nobody is helping you try. There's no one at home reviewing your homework. No one drilling hand seals with you in the evening. Every other kid has a clan, a family, someone who trained them before they ever set foot in a classroom. You have an empty apartment and a cup of instant ramen. At 12, you fail the graduation exam. Not once, 3 times. The clone jutsu, the most basic technique they teach. Your chakra control is a mess because the 9-tailed fox inside you is constantly leaking power that destabilizes everything you do, and nobody tells you that either. Because of the decree, because apparently ignorance is a great way to raise a traumatized child. You finally graduate through a series of events that involve a traitorous teacher, a stolen scroll, and you nearly dying in a forest. Normal graduation stuff. Your actual teacher, Iruka, passes you not because the system worked, but because he saw something in you that the system was designed to make everyone miss. You will spend the rest of your life trying to be worthy of that one moment. Here's where it would be nice to tell you things get easier. They don't. They just get louder. You're placed on Team 7. Your teammates are Sasuke Uchiha, brooding, talented, and already miles ahead of you, and Sakura Haruno, who you have a crush on and who has a crush on Sasuke. Your sensei is Kakashi Hatake, who shows up an hour late to everything and spends the first day trying to fail all 3 of you for working together. It's a test. You eventually realize most things are tests. Almost none of them come with instructions. You fight, you train, you get stabbed, hit, thrown, exhausted, and humiliated on a rotating basis. You also start to make friends for the first time in your life, which is wonderful, except that friendship in a ninja village has a habit of ending badly. You watch people die. You watch your teacher sacrifice himself. You watch the village burn and the people you care about suffer. And every time you reach some small victory, something else breaks. At 13, Sasuke leaves, and this is the one that actually breaks you, so pay attention, because everything after this is shaped by it. This loss is different from the others. Sasuke isn't taken from you, he chooses to go, chooses power over everything, including you. You've spent years dragging yourself forward just to stand next to him as an equal, and he walks away without looking back. You promise Sakura you'll bring him home. You mean it completely. You will spend the next 3 years failing to keep that promise, which will sit on your chest like a stone every single day. You leave the village to train with Jiraiya, your godfather, though he took 11 years to show up and introduce himself, which is a bit of a record. He's also one of the legendary Sannin, a world-famous ninja, and a man who writes a very specific kind of novel he's not embarrassed about at all. He's also the closest thing to a father figure you've ever had, which means, in the tradition of everything good in your life, he will eventually die. You return at 16, stronger, taller, still hopelessly devoted to a village that spent your entire childhood treating you like a disease. Sasuke is still gone. Jiraiya dies shortly after getting you home, killed by the man he once trained. Pain, the leader of a criminal organization that has been hunting you specifically because of what's sealed inside you. The fox isn't just ruining your chakra control anymore, it's made you a target for every dangerous organization in the world. Fantastic bonus feature. Pain attacks the village, destroys most of it, kills people you know. You fight him alone, which is on brand for you at this point, and win. Then sit down with him in the rubble and somehow, through sheer stubborn belief in people, convince him to use the last of his life to bring everyone back. The village is rebuilt. The people live. You are praised as a hero for about a week before the next crisis begins. The fourth great ninja war. The entire ninja world unites. And at the center of it is you and Sasuke, because of course it is. You fight armies. You fight resurrected legends. You fight your own darkness repeatedly. The fox inside you stops being a prison sentence and becomes a partner. Kurama, who turns out to have feelings and opinions and a dry sense of humor that honestly you respect. You transform your greatest curse into your greatest strength, which is the kind of thing that sounds simple until you consider it took 16 years and near constant suffering to get there. You and Sasuke fight each other one final time, both lose their dominant arm, and finally, reach something like peace. Sasuke comes home, the war ends. You are 17 years old and you have saved the world. So that's it, right? That's the end? The orphan who was hated by his village grows up, saves the world, gets the girl, becomes Hokage. Happy ending. Sure, mostly, you become Hokage. You marry Hinata, who loved you patiently for years while you were busy not noticing. You have 2 children, Boruto and Himawari. You build the life you dreamed about on the floor of that empty apartment, the one you drew on the walls of because there was nothing else to do. And then you become so busy being Hokage that you miss your daughter's birthday. You send a shadow clone to your son's tournament because the paperwork won't wait. Your son starts to resent you. Your family eats dinner without you more nights than not. The boy who wanted nothing more than acknowledgement, who cried for it, who nearly broke himself chasing it, that boy grew up and got so consumed by his responsibilities that he forgot to show up for the people right in front of him. You turned into the one thing you never had, a father who wasn't really there. Eventually you figure it out. You get better. The village survives. Your family holds together. Kurama dies in battle and you grieve him the way you grieve everything. Quietly and while still moving forward, because that's all you've ever known how to do. And here's the part nobody really talks about. That village that hated you, that isolated a child for a crime he didn't commit, it never actually apologized. Not once. You just decided to protect it anyway. Maybe that's the most Naruto thing about the whole story. Not bad for a kid who couldn't even clone himself at 12.